Good day. So we're here to discuss about chapter 11, named Deepening Family Structures and Legacies.
Family. The family is a sociological unit considered as the primary group that the individual initially gets familiar and bonded with. Usually, a family consists of the father, mother, and children. Family, a group of persons united by the ties of marriage, blood, or adoption, constituting a single household and interacting with each other in their respective social positions, usually those of spouses, parents, children, and siblings. The term family comes from the Latin word familia. It refers to a group of people related by affinity or consanguinity who live together. They are bonded together and are attached to each other.
Family as a social institution is the foundational unit of society that serves multiple purposes like emotional support, raising children, and providing a basic social framework. The institution of family has three important functions. Number one is to provide for the rearing of children. Number two is to provide a sense of identity or belonging among its members. Number three is to transmit culture between generations. In Western societies. We tend to think of a family as consisting of mother, father, and the children living under one roof.
The next is family as a symbol of tradition. Family traditions are experiences or activities that are passed down between generations. These traditions can be as unique and special as the family itself. In addition to being something to look forward to, traditions also establish a foundation for family values and serve as a special bonding experiences. Characteristics of the family. These characteristics help to define the unique nature of each family and influence how they interact and function as a unit. Bonding. Family often share strong emotional bonds and support each other through various life events. Role. Members typically have specific roles and responsibilities within the family unit, such as caregiving, providing financial support, or decision making. Number three, communication. Effective communication is crucial in families as it helps to express feelings, resolve conflicts, and make decisions together. Number four, values. Families often share common values and beliefs that guide their actions and interactions with each other and the world around them. Number five, traditions. Family often have traditions and rituals that help to create sense of belonging and continuity across generations. Number six, adaptability. Families need to be adaptable to changing circumstances such as births, deaths, marriage, or other life events. Number seven, support. Families provide emotional, physical, and sometimes financial support to each other, especially during challenging times. Number eight, structure. Families can have a different structures such as nuclear families, extended families, single parent families, or blended families, each with its own dynamics and challenges.
On the basis of structure, nuclear families consist of a man or woman and their children. The couple may or may not be married. Their children may or may not be biologically related to the mother and father. From the point of view of human society, the nuclear family also refers to the immediate family, which is made up of couples, parents, siblings, and children. According to Medina, there are two types of nuclear family. The family of orientation consists of the individual, parents, brothers, and sisters. This is the family that has raised and nurtured the individual. This is in the place to help family members grow and mature into useful contributors to society. The family members will have their own family after they get married and start a family of their own. The procreative family is made up of the individual, spouse, and children. To establish a family, conceive and raise children in order to prepare them for adulthood for its goal. Extended family consists of two or more nuclear families living under the same roof. The mother, father, daughter, boys, grandparents, uncle, aunts, cousins, nieces, and nephews make up an extended family or joint family. Extended or joint families are common in the Philippines.
On the basis that makes people blood related, first is conjugal family, a type of family that includes a married couple together with their children. This includes a father, a mother, and their unmarried child or children. Second is consanguineal family, a type of family that's based on the genetics. This includes the mother or father, their blood-related family, such as uncles, aunties, nephews, cousins, their siblings, both their brothers and sisters, and also their child or children.
On the basis of ancestry, we have patrilineal family. It's a type of relationship system in which the family members is traced through one's father's lineage. This type of kinship generally involves inheritance such as those pertaining to real estate or titles by persons associated to male relatives. A matrilineal family, on the other hand, is a type of relationship system in which the family connection is tracked through the mother's ancestry. Included in the mother's descent are the inheritance of real estate or titles. In a matrilineal parentage arrangement, the lineage group comes from the mother. A bilateral family is a type of relationship arrangement in which a person's family membership is traced through both parents' linkages in considering transfer of wealth or property. Members of both sides are given equal importance. This is one type of arrangement where both parents are considered relative to lineage and legacy.
On the basis of residence. Number 1. In a patrilocal family, the residence is near or with the male's family after marriage. Number 2. In a matrilocal family, the family resides near or with the female's family after marriage. Number 3. In a avunculocal family, the couple lives near or in the groom's maternal uncle's house. Number 4. In an ambilocal family, the family resides near of the male's or female's family. Number 5. In a neolocal family, the couple chooses to live on their own after marriage. The residence is neutral and away from both sides of the family.
On the basis of the family, patriarchal families are commonly found in all parts of the world, since most societies in the world are patrilineal societies. In patriarchal families, the head of the family is a male, and authority is vested in him.
Types of
He is
family on the
instrumental
basis
in
of
making all
authority.
decisions on behalf
Characteristics
of
of a
the
patriarchal
family.
society. In a patriarchal system, the father is the supreme lord of the family property. He makes all decisions in both society and in his family unit, holds all positions of power and authority, and are considered superior. After marriage, the wife comes to live in the husband's and in-law's home. She has to bear the surname of her husband, the property of the father only, and is generally passed through the male line.
Patriarchal families are found only in matrilineal societies, which are very limited in a number all over the world. It is a form of a family in which authority is centered in the wife or mother. In psychology, an egalitarian family is a family structure in which power and decision making are shared equally among all family members, regardless of gender or age. This type of family structure values cooperation, open communication, and a mutual respect among family members.
Types of family on the basis of marriage. First, a monogamous family. This is where a man marries only one woman at a time. Second, a polygamous family. The man marries many women at a time. And lastly, a polyandrous family. This is where a woman marries many men and lives with all of them or with each one alternately.
On the basis of in-group and out-group affiliation, An exogamous family is one which allows marriage only outside of social group. There are two associated elements of exogamy: first natural, second social. Natural or biological exogamy is the matrimonial union of non-consanguine related being restricted by incest law. Cultural or social exogamy is the matrimonial union external to a specific cultural or social group. Second, an exogamous family is one which allows marriage within a social group.
Adolescence is an important developmental phase along the path to the adulthood, years during which youth become increasingly independent from their families. Yet, parents and other family members still play a critical role in the promotion of adolescents' well being by providing a positive support system within which youth can explore their changing identity.
Adjustments in the relationship between parents and children. During middle adolescence, youth strive for independence and develop stronger bonds with peers. Changes in parent-child relationships often center on emotional dynamics, potentially leading to conflict as teens push boundaries. Researchers suggest a discrepancy between teens' perceived readiness for adulthood and parents. Acknowledgement of it, readiness is typically occurring later than adolescents claim and earlier than parents admit.
Family is still the young people's priority. During adolescence, peer pressure is a significant factor, but teenagers have different interactions with their parents compared to their peers. They have more stable connection with their parents despite the power imbalance, while their relationship with peers are based on equality. Despite spending more time with their peers, teenagers still value their families more than anything else.
Family relationships and discipline. A bond between family members is known to as a family relationship. The parent-children connection is the most important one between family members in the middle and late stages of adolescence. In particular, discipline starts to become an issue. The derivative of the term discipline is disciple, which means to teach. This suggests sharing knowledge and skills. Parents use discipline to teach their children values, what society expects of them, and what is good and wrong. Discipline is enforced to ensure the safety of young people. Rewards and punishments are all a part of discipline. It teaches children self-control so they can avoid bad habits and pick up desired ones. Therefore, obedience to and obedience with certain rules of behavior cannot be enforced by discipline. The very purpose of discipline is to promote in young people social values and customs that are acceptable to the society. The main goal is to teach morality and good judgment, which will help the youth become more disciplined and responsible throughout the rest of their lives. Concerns over the use of positive discipline in which parents provide guidance and support instead of placing limits and giving punishments have grown. They develop into mature people built on a foundation of respect and trust.
Authoritative parenting. This is parenting style characterized by the use of rational, warm, firm control and issue-oriented discipline. Emphasizes is placed on the development of autonomy and self-direction. Although parents place limits on the action of their children, parents assume the ultimate responsibility for their children's behavior. They invoke their authority to lead. Authoritative parenting is a style where parents are warm and nurturing while also setting clear boundaries and rules. They provide reason for their expectation and decisions, and they encourage independence and self-discipline in their children. However, they still maintain control and take responsibility for guiding their children's behavior. Authoritarian parenting. Authoritarian parenting is characterized by toughness and unreceptiveness.
This type of parenting style is restrictive, with heavy punishment and little or no explanation or response. Parents focus on status and tend to demand obedience without explanation. Authoritarian parenting is when parents are really strict and don't listen much. They set harsh rules without explaining why, and they expect their kids to just follow orders without question.
Indulgent or permissive parenting. In this type of parenting approach, parents are responsive but not demanding. They are lenient and non-directive. They are very involved with their children, but do not control them. Their style is nurturing and accepting, and children are not encouraged to manage their actions properly. Based from a clinical psychologist, Mary Ann Rosenthal, indulgent parents provide their children with anything they desire, while permissive parents do not play roles of parents to their children, and instead try to be friends with them. Psychologist Mark Prange asserts that children of permissive adults may have a tendency to be more thoughtless and impetuous. On the contrary, children of permissive parents feel confident and are self-reliant and resilient. They reach maturity at a faster rate and are able to stand on their own and not depend on parents. This means that this kind of parenting style is more on the parents being tolerant of their children despite of what they do. Their style is nurturing and accepting only, but not encouraging their children to manage their behaviors and actions properly, as these parents try to be friends with their children. Children who are exposed to this kind of parenting are more inconsiderate and reckless, making decisions without a thought. Though, on the brighter side, children of permissive parents grow to be more mature at an early age and do not rely on their parents anymore as they learn on their own. Neglectful parenting. In this kind of nurturing style, parents are inattentive and are remiss in their duties. They are basically unresponsive, disconnected, and distant. They do not seem to care and do not regulate the behavior of their children. They do not set limits. Although they provide the basic needs of their children, they do not necessarily support their children emotionally. This type of inattentive parenting style is rooted in several causes. These may include financial difficulties, least priority given to children, unclear support to their children, and dependence on dangerous drugs. Children of neglectful parents feel their parents have more important priorities. Oftentimes, these young people struggle to stand on their own. They stop relying on their parents and acquire the sentiment that they are on their own. Their maturity level advances faster than their age. Children of neglectful parents lack external structure and self-control. They search for love in whatever way they can find it. This kind of behavior may manifest once they become adults. In this kind of parenting, parents are absent and too uninvolved with their children and act like they don't have one. Though it may seem that they provide for their children financially, but never emotionally. This nurturing style results for the children to be on their own as they don't have parent figures to rely on. They tend to find love that they don't get from their parents on whatever ways they find it. Children also feel resentful of their parents as they're irresponsible of their role. Aside from that, children with neglectful parents are more likely to stand on their own at an early age. But there's one thing I can say for sure. Don't have a kid and don't act like they're not from you.
The Filipino family. In traditional Filipino families, a patriarchal structure prevails, where the father assumes the role of the family's head and a primary provider. He is seen as strong and decisive, responsible for meeting the family's financial needs. The mother, on the other hand, manages household duties and cares for the children, embodying traits of calmness and nurturing. Despite this role, societal shifts are leading to more families having both parents working to enhance their child's quality of life. In the Philippines, there is a strong cultural tradition of caring for and respecting the elderly members, unlike in many Western societies where older individuals often rely on caregivers or institutes for support. Filipino elders are typically cared for by their children and grandchildren. This practice highlights the importance of family bonds and values that place on intergenerational relationship. A notable aspect of Filipino culture is use the terms of po and opo to show respect to elders, a custom that extends to all generations. Within families, Parents and older siblings are especially honored for their roles and in providing guidance and support for younger members.
Tracing family roots, the use of the genogram. A genogram is a detailed, realistic picture of genealogical chart that shows how members in a family of multiple generations are connected to each other. It uses special symbols to describe these relationships. This graphic family map goes beyond a traditional family tree as it can be used to analyze hereditary patterns and psychological factors that characterize relationships. Renowned family therapist Monica McGoldrick and psychologist Randy Gerdon conceptualized and propagated genograms in clinical settings. To date, these graphical symbols are used in medicine, psychology, education, social work, and other related fields.
Simple guide to genograms. First, what is genograms? Genograms are symbols that determine modes of behavior in ancestral lineage that can explain the present behavior of young people. However, precautions should be applied in some instances where families do not appreciate seeing a visual representation of relationship where they are considered distant and conflictual. So here we have a list of characters and codes for illustrating a genogram. The following are the symbols commonly used in a genogram. Here we have a female symbol, male symbol, unknown gender, married, de facto relationship, separated, divorce, disease, living together at present, conflictual relationship, very close, and distant relationship. Next is how to make a genogram. So here we have a step-by-step process that we can follow in making a genogram. First, decide the purpose of creating a genogram which somehow similar to a family tree. Would it be a school project, use, use of a healthcare provider, planning a family reunion with others? In designing a genogram, you may need to be familiar with the names and relationship of the family members in your genogram, their medical history, and emotional states, among others. Number two, determine how many generations will be covered by your genogram. Number three, determine the names of your relatives, such as paternal and maternal grandparents, parents, aunts, uncles, and their children. Number four, indicate if a relative is deceased, male or female, or if a couple is separated, depending on the purpose of their genogram. And last, number five, as you connect the relationships, appropriate symbols are utilized to indicate whether a relationship are close, conflictual, or distant.